Hey, how do you boost your credit score fast? Stay tuned for the answer. In the last few months, I've been able to boost my credit score without really actually knowing before that I had to look for a place where my credit score would be pulled in order to rent. And it was very clear to me that my credit score at the time was subpar. And there are really great apps out there, whether it's on your online banking where you can check your credit score. But there are certain things that you don't see on the credit score, right? Like how each individual maybe credit card has rated you, how late you are on certain things, and that may affect your credit score as well without you even knowing it. See, the only way we know when our credit is not good is when we get declined for an application. So, for instance, one of the most common areas where we apply for some sort of application where our credit score is being pulled is, wanting to rent a place. And wanting to rent a place is pretty important. Like, you need a place to rent, and a lot of property managers or companies, leasing agents, they all pull your credit bureau. And so if it's not at least a certain score, they won't even consider you. So that's one really big reason why you want to make sure you know where your credit score is at. And the first clue is to find out using, if you have an online banking app, which most people do, is there, because a lot of the major banks, at least here in Canada, have that service to be able to check your credit score. But as I started to check my credit score and see how I could increase the score, I started to realize that what brought my score actually down in the first place. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of it had to do with being late with credit card payments, always making sure that there was a minimum payment. The minimum payment that they give you is paid. And on the most part, if anything, all of my pre-authorized payments were actually really good. It was really good because, of course, they come out of my account automatically. And one of the things I realized to help boost my credit score fast is really to take a look. Right? You're going to notice that the theme for a lot of my videos is just take a look. And maybe you can relate, but a lot of the reason why I didn't look was because I was afraid. I was afraid of how much I overspent. I was afraid of how late I am. I was afraid that I don't have enough money to cover this payment. And I get it. I totally understand where you're coming from, which is what causes you anxiety and overwhelm to not check yourself. So I don't have any magical pill to tell you to take to get you to just check. The idea is that all I can tell you is that it's never as bad as it looks or as you feel it might be. Okay? In fact, it gives me more peace of mind that I looked at something that I felt was scary, went through it, looked at it. Yeah, it wasn't what I wanted to see, but I was a lot more clear about what I had. So there was no reason to be fearful anymore. And I think you just need to get over that hump where things are just so bad, like you get declined for a rental application, right? And you need to figure it out. And that's really what happened to me. And I'm not afraid to explain that and tell, everybody that, because I am human too, making mistakes, but learning from them is really the only weapon we have to not make that mistake again. So, boosting your credit score fast. First of all, you need to see where the state of the union is. Where are you behind? Are you actually making the minimum payments? Just the minimum payments, you're still going to be boosting your credit score, okay? On time. Make sure that you're paying them on time. Now, a lot of people think, a lot of young people especially, they think, I'm going to make this payment on December 29th because it's due on December 29th. But you have to take into account that if your credit card is not with the bank you deal with, it takes a couple days for the payment to actually get there. Even though you might think it just magically gets there right there and then, that's not how it works. It can take a few days. So you need to be able to figure out, how do I automatically pay this bill before the due date. It doesn't have to be like weeks before the due date. It could be days, but as long as you have an idea, it takes about 3 days to get there. So if my bill was due on the 29th, then I should make sure the payment is at least due on the 26th. And there are a lot of banking apps out there that will allow you to make automatic bill payments, right? And if you make automatic bill payments, you're treating that like all the automatic bill payments you have, like your car loan or your car insurance or your rent. So treat it like that. That would be my second recommendation, is find a way to auto pay out of your account your credit card payments, knowing what your minimum payment is, of course, right? Because I want you to be able to not only make at least your minimum payment, but do it on a consistent basis, okay? The other thing too is if you want to start paying off your debts, you need to not go to your credit cards, okay? So take a look at this video here where I show you how to make that happen, where you don't even have to rely on your credit cards anymore for anything. You're nicely paying it off on a regular basis while you're improving your credit score, but at the same time, not feeling like you're living paycheck to paycheck. So check out this video.